girl D, and I'm going to be showing you how I make my vegetarian lasagna. And here is all the ingredients I have here. Let's do a quick pan. Here's some of the seasonings I will be using. Alright, let's get right into the video. Alright, you guys, so we're going to start off with a cool pan. That's important. And we're going to open up our Beyond Beef, which I really actually like. I've tried the Impossible meat as well. I like that one too. My husband prefers the Beyond Beef one, or Beyond Meat it's called. So really with the lasagna, you just make it the same way you make any other kind of lasagna. It's really the same method. So I'm gonna toss that in there. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn my eye on, and I put it on like a medium heat. It ain't even medium low, it's medium. And then I'm actually, sometimes I use the Italian sausage from Beyond Meat, Beyond Meat, but today I'm going to use the meatballs and just crumble them up, and it's going to be like that. Same. It has the same seasonings as the Italian sausage. Okay, so I'm actually just going to take my hands, as you see I have gloves on, and just kind of crumble it up, get it started. You're going to hear my pan start heating up. And I always like to use a non-stick skillet. Use your favorite skillet. And it's simple how I'm just going to crumble these meatballs up. And if you're like a newbie vegetarian watching this, don't judge this if this doesn't look appealing to you. I promise at the end it's gonna look really good. Really good, I promise. Just spread that out. And it comes with 12 meatballs in this pack. And I'm gonna put all 12 of them in there. Just crumble it up like that. I did wash my hands before I started this, of course, even though I'm wearing gloves. You should always wash your hands before cooking and in between cooking. Hopefully I ain't gotta tell y'all that, but if you ain't doing it, then you part of why the curve is happening. No, I'm just serious. Okay, so get that going like that. I'm actually just gonna remove my gloves. I always do it just like that. No contamination, especially if that was actual meat. Alright, y'all, so my pan is still heating up, which is fine, but I'm still just gonna break up my meat. Get that going. Actually kind of combine those two meats together. And it'll take about, let's say, a good 3 to 4 minutes to actually start looking like something versus what it looks like now. Just mush. No shade. So our eye is heating up, so our meat is getting brown. You just want to keep stirring, keep mixing. Don't knock your meat out like I just did. Take it easy. And just keep stirring it up. So at this point, I just have some plain water, and I'm just gonna add a little bit in there. Adding a little bit of water. And why I add water is it just kind of loosens the meat up. I do this when I'm cooking turkey or beef as well. It just kind of makes it easier to break down. Think about Beyond Meat as well. It just smells good. It already smells like seasoned or something. I don't know how to explain it. It smells really good to me. So I put my heat up already. I'm just gonna let that keep browning. Alright guys, so while your meat is browning, you're just gonna make your cheese mixture. So for that you'll need ricotta cheese. I recommend, the whole milk, not the skim milk, because that one's kind of gross. And then you'll need some Parmesan cheese, Italian blend, or you could just use mozzarella, whichever one you prefer. I really like this one, it's really good. So that, and then your seasonings. Alright guys, so as you can see, our meat is turning up. And I went ahead and put like 2.5 tablespoons of minced garlic. And it's at the end of my garlic of this jar. I have another jar, of course, but this is the one I use. And I put about 2 tablespoons of that in there. I like to use that, while it's still like cooking and browning. If you see any chunks inside of there, just go ahead and break that down. Bada bing, bada boom. How y'all feeling this evening? I hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all about that life still. You ain't tapped out. Because we got this. We're making it. So yeah, so I do that. So I'm just letting that garlic get all infused inside of there. And I kind of really want to add a little bit more. So I'm going to get my other jar of minced garlic out. And just add 1 more tablespoon. Normally, at times I'll put like green bell pepper and onions in there, but I'm not doing that today. So stir that up and let that just get all together. And then you want to start seasoning. I'm going to start off with some Italian seasoning. Then I'm going to add some chopped garlic. I'm sorry, chopped onion. Then just a little bit of paprika. Y'all, I don't be measuring. I just eyeball it. I'm from that part of life. And then probably might throw you off, but we're just gonna add just one good shake of Creole seasoning. It'll make sense later because the spices in there. It's like everything you need to kind of waken up the flavor, and it really gives it that like, like a beef taste, I guess you could say. And so we're just gonna mix that up, mix it up. You want to make sure it's all combined, all that seasoning is getting everywhere. Yeah, slow up. We're gonna get all that off of there too. All that off of there. And then I probably don't think I'm crazy, but that's okay. I'm gonna add some garlic powder, even though we put all that garlic in there. Just mix that in. Smelling so good, y'all. We had smell-o-vision. It's 2022 and we still ain't got smell-o-vision. Normally, y'all, I be cooking, have my music going, Of course, for copyright reasons and YouTube and all that, I can't even cook with no music on. But that's all good. I'm here with y'all. Alright, so back to our cheese mixture. I'm actually just going to start off with adding half of this second one. A little over half. Because I really feel like I'm not going to need that whole thing. And then, first I'm going to add a handful of Parmesan. A little over a handful. Then adding in some of our Italian blend cheese. Another handful and a half. So when you're making lasagna, I recommend that you season all layers. So just like we season our meat, we're going to season our cheese mixture. So for this, the first thing I'm going to add in here is the Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. And this is like all that's left, so I'm actually just going to dump all of that in there. And then after that, I'm going to add a little lot more Italian seasoning. And then some garlic powder in there. Don't be scared. Then we're going to add black pepper. You got to have your food seasoned. Season it, and just a little bit of salt. Just a little bit. And then in here, we're going to add a little bit of our smoked paprika. Just about that much. Don't ask me why. Just do it. I'm just serious. You won't be disappointed. If y'all do end up making this recipe, you know, tag me on my Instagram or Facebook or wherever. DM me pictures on there. Cause this is like a what I call like a foolproof recipe. And it's quick. You know, it just takes about under 30 minutes, if that, well, it takes about 15-20 minutes to prep. And then, you know, cooking time can be like, yeah, just an hour before dinner time. I guess lasagna ain't quick, y'all, but it's definitely worth it. Let me stop playing. Stop trying to say it's quick. So, of course, you just combine all of that, and it should look something like this. When you finish, we're just gonna set this to the side and go back and check on our meat. Ground meat is looking good. Got a little crisp on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat down. And at this point is when I'm gonna go ahead and add my jarred sauce, marinara pasta sauce. I'm gonna use Italian herb. And water that you had left over, just use that to rinse your jar. Always rinse your jar. Get all of that. Get all of that, honey. Get all of that. Then I'm going to use just half of this. Not even half, like a fourth of that. 4 cheese, maybe a little bit more. 4 cheese. Tighten that back up. And then I'm actually going to switch utensils. Let me pause and so as stated before, you want to season every layer of lasagna. So I just added that Italian seasoning in there. I always doctor up my, not Italian season, that marinara spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce. So I'm gonna add a little lot of that Italian seasoning. And then we're gonna switch it up again and add just a little bit, especially if you make it for your kids. Well, this one isn't really spicy, but the Creole seasoning, just about that much. Like I said, y'all, I don't be measuring. I'll be eyeballing. If y'all would like for me to come up with some direct, you know, not direct, exact measurements, then comment down below. And if you are staying with me at this point in this video, I thank you, I appreciate you, and go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like more cooking videos with me, I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper, and then just a tad bit of garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. You wanna mix slow, of course. Hopefully you're using a deeper pan instead of like me out here risking it all. And you want to make sure your heat is turned down so it won't be bubbling up at you. So just take your time, mix it up. So now that you have that all mixed up, I'm not crazy, but these next two steps is what's gonna make this sauce bomb. Don't ask me, just do it. Just trust me. So we're gonna add this much about sugar. That's sugar. Yeah, sugar. I'm not all for that sugar on pasta after it's done, but in my sauce, definitely we add sugar. And then this next part, so you change your life. You're gonna take some Dijon mustard, whichever one of your choice, and you're gonna add like a teaspoon or however much that is in there. You want to kind of dollop it around. Well, you want to make it in the pan. How about that? You want to dollop it around. The reason why I'm dolloping it around is so that it get mixed up good. So just about that much. I'm actually going to use the same spoon that I put it in with, and I'm just going to mix it in those spots. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that it gets distributed pretty well incorporated into there. When I get my bigger spoon, and then I'm just going to, once again, mix it slowly. Of course, if you have a deeper pot, it'll be easier for you to mix it, but I don't. So this was happening. So I'm gonna mix that up. You can also have, instead of adding that second sauce, you could add like tomato sauce, like straight tomato sauce. That'll be good. It'll have a more sweeter taste as well. You can add whatever you want to make it more of your own. This is Italian American, you know, so it ain't, you know, authentic. No, I'm just kidding. It's authentically me though. So you want to just cover with a lid. Make sure you turn your temperature down on low. Let that simmer for as long as you can let it simmer. And I literally mean that. So 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long. The more it simmer, the better it's going to taste. And I'll show y'all. I'm going to let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll come back and show y'all. So in the meantime, you know, I'm going to tidy up and get ready for the next step, and I'll be back with y'all. Let's see if we can do a snap. All right, you guys. So we've been simmering for about 20-25 minutes actually at this point. See how it's looking. Well, that pan at the top almost got me. Oh Lord. I told y'all, make sure y'all use a deeper pan, but this is looking oh so good. Hopefully it's showing up right on camera. It's looking kind of orange. All right, you guys, so now that we have let this simmer for about 25 minutes, this is how it's looking. Looking good. We're actually just gonna turn our eye off and we're gonna get ready to assemble. So you just want to get you a lasagna pan. That's what I call it, casserole pan or whatever. About this size is good. can layer it pretty good. You can get a one that's a little bit longer if you like, but I rather mine have more layers and length to it, if that makes sense. So I mean like thickness or whatever. And so we're just gonna start this assembly, so y'all stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna start our assembly. I like to take a little bit of this Pam, just a little bit, spray it on both sides of the pan, like that. And then take a paper towel and kind of just wipe it through. That's just for reinforcement, of course. And then our first layer is gonna be like 2 spoonfuls of our meat sauce, our vegan meat sauce, like that. And I don't think I mentioned this, I'm using the oven ready noodles. So next I'm gonna lay a few of those down. If you never use oven ready, baby, what is you doing? Ain't no way. Ain't no way, ain't no way. So the next step, we're gonna add some of our cheese filling. I just like to take about that much. I know you're probably thinking like, she got 7 kids, it's gonna be enough. It's always enough for us. Like, I don't like to make leftovers too often because we don't really eat leftovers too often. So this is always enough. You know, they're children, so I'll give them small portions, and if they want more, I give them seconds. So that's how it is. So you want to do that. And then you want to take some of, just a little bit of your Italian blend cheese. Add a little layer of that. And then another layer of meat sauce. Oh, and by the way, as you're layering your lasagna, be sure to have your oven preheated to about 375. For sure, for sure. And then I like to like alternate which way I lay it. I don't know why I did it. I just did it. Then you add some filling, not that much. I still feel like this is like a foolproof recipe. Like, you really can't mess this up. The key to it is, you know, seasoning the layers for sure. Just season your layers. And you don't have to be perfect. You know, it's still gonna all come out looking good, tasting good. Like that, like so, like that. And then for this layer, I'm actually gonna add Parmesan cheese to it and the Italian cheese. I'm just doing a little bit. If you're a real like cheesy lover, then you can OD if you want to. You know, like I do, but I don't like my digestive system. I ain't about that life. And then, you know, continue on your layering. So I'm gonna continue that and come back and let y'all see. So this is how it's looking. And you never want to end your layers on cheese. You want to put your meat sauce on top. So I like to end with actually the Mexican blend cheese or with whatever kind of mixed cheese. Alright, y'all, so I added that cheese on top of there, and I actually added a little bit of parsley on top. It makes it look good. Take my foil, cover it. Alright, you guys, so it is done. I actually took the foil off probably the last 5 minutes, and it brown, looks good. Here's the layers. And I always add that extra pan underneath with dishes like this so it can just catch it for easy cleanup. And you want to let this sit for about 10, 15 minutes so it sets up. I know it looks so good, we want to just jump in, but you gotta wait.